Good morning from Manchester Airport. Just come to 6:15 on a Sunday morning. Duffy is begging me for mercy. Don't know what house we think of that fellow Welshman. But you'll have seen about extreme day trips. I imagine those of you who've had a look on any social media any time in the last 5 years. I like to do my own version of extreme day trips, which always revolves around football, and today is one of those days. First stop will be Sabadell, all going to plan. So, easy jet to Barcelona. Only disappointing about this is that I'd forgotten that Terminal 1 only has Starbucks and no Costa. Apologies to all those Starbucks lovers out there. But should hopefully get into Barcelona around about 10 o'clock. Pick up a car and head the 25 to 30 minutes northeast to Sabadell to watch them take on Teruel in the Primera Federación. And of course, sadly, the Gimnàstic de Tarragona versus Alcorcón game comes a little bit too late, a little bit too far from the airport for me to make that one as well. So I have other plans for the afternoon, which you might hear about elsewhere. But for now, my focus is on getting to Sabadell and what should be a really good game between two newly promoted sides. So let us hope that all goes as it should do in Barcelona. I'm hearing about a new identity system being introduced today. No confirmation of whether it's going to be rolled out in Barcelona airport. I travel on an Irish passport, so it shouldn't affect me. But last time I was in Barcelona, it took me a while to get through immigration despite this. So fingers crossed everything has to go to plan for this to work. A little bit of a gamble, but hopefully it will pay off and you'll be hearing from me in about 4 or 5 hours time from Sabadell. Until then. Fast forward 5 hours and here I am in the Estadi Nova Creu Alta, and we have a penalty, and really interesting to see pitch side how this works, this FVS system. They have actually got a monitor on the away team bench here, so Sabadell have been given a penalty. A number of them are looking at the monitor on the Teruel bench, and after a little bit of discussion they decide to play the card. Ballas comes out with his big green card, hands it over, one of his 2 challenges used, and now of course the referee comes across and checks it clearly, obviously because it's a penalty decision, not a goal. There's no question of it being automatically checked, so Ballas has to do that. He's had a good look at it, as I say, on his monitor. He doesn't feel it's a penalty. Now the ref's having a look at it, and we'll find out exactly what happens here. Fairly even first 27 minutes until that happened. I thought Teruel actually played pretty well and looked to hit Sabadell on the break with numbers. As you can see, or rather hear, the delay about making a final decision on this one is annoying the crowd somewhat. They think it's a clear penalty, needless to say. Ballas is hovering around the monitor, and it turns out to be a good appeal because the referee's now decided it's not a penalty. That's fairly unusual in the use of FVS so far, I think. So good challenge by Ballas. No penalty. We play on. Just under half an hour gone. Sabadell 0, Teruel 0. Half time in the Estadi Nova Creu Alta, and goalless here in a town about 20 minutes to the north of central Barcelona, I would say. Really good effort from Sabadell going into the half-time break. Certainly started to turn the screw and just couldn't find a way to break the deadlock. Really like the look of Quadri in central midfield, diminutive midfielder, and they're trying to wind him up basically, and he did get a booking just on half-time, which is a bit ridiculous. Didn't really think he did much wrong, to be honest. But yeah, he just needs to watch himself now. He's one of those who likes to make a tackle. He's got good feet as well. Really impressed with him. The main threat really for Sabadell is on the left-hand side. They've got plenty of pace out there to trouble Teruel. There's really no way they can live with it out there, the visitors, and that would be what I would be saying if I were Ferran Costa. To get the ball wide to the left, fairly straightforward. Get it wide left and get the right back exposed, because that's a clear avenue for them to profit from. But right now they haven't managed to do so on the score sheet, and we remain goalless. Not a bad turnout. It's obviously the lunchtime kickoff, not always seen as a particularly favourable time to be watching football. But I'd say the stadium's about probably a third full, and certain pockets of it, as you always see on the TV pictures, are prime errors, both sides of course, and then behind one goal, and it'll be that end that Sabadell will be attacking in the second half, so we'll interested to see if that helps. And as always with an open air stadium like this one, more or less open air, 3/4 of it's open to the elements, a little bit difficult to get any real noise going, but yeah, certainly a decent game so far, and Teruel haven't come for the point, and might well feel that they can nick some of the counter-attack. Sabadell do commit a lot of players forward, and certainly there is space to profit from that on the counter-attack, but at the moment they haven't managed to do so, so it remains Sabadell 0, Teruel 0. Reached the hour mark, and both sides decide to shake things up a bit. Sadly, from a Pozo point of view, that means that Teddy is heading for the bench, and 2 changes also for Sabadell, including Polo, I think is a bit of a local legend around here, and that also is a bit of a substitution tinged with sadness, because it means it's the end of Quadri's afternoon. Really enjoyed watching the central midfield for Sabadell, but I guess on a booking perhaps a wiser decision. Still feel that Lopez Pinto is the key to this on the left hand side for Sabadell. Got a lot of pace and has really skinned the Creu right back on 2 or 3 occasions, but he's just not seen the ball in this early part of the second half. So 2 changes apiece as both sides go looking for a winner still. Sabadell and Teruel just past the hour mark. Slightly comical moment there as another Sabadell player goes down in the box, and Ferran Costa clearly thinks it is a penalty. There's a pull, shirt pull, and he can't find his card. He's looking everywhere for his card. Give me the card so I can raise it in the air and trigger the first appeal of the match for the home side. Referee now giving it a good study. And here comes the decision. He blows his whistle and he says nothing, as one expected. The locals clearly incensed. They've had one penalty he gave and then took away, and now another one they think they should have had, and he hasn't given it. But yeah, you can see that one coming. I didn't think it was the most clear-cut decision. There is a shirt pull for me, but it's quite often appealed and rarely given. So we remain goalless at the Nova Creu Alta. Best hope for the home fans after that penalty not given is that it's going to really rouse the ire of their players, and it's clearly got the fans up and really behind them now. The applause has begun to intensify, and Lopez Pinto just cut in there and bent one just wide on the post. Lopez Pinto, I should say, apologies. And yeah, he really is the man they need to find more often. He's clearly can go inside, can go outside, and just causing the right back all sorts of problems. And yeah, still 20 minutes to go, still plenty of time for Sabadell to get a winner here, and still time, of course, for Teruel to sneak one on the counter attack, but nothing doing right now. We've entered that part of the game widely referred to as game management from the visiting side. Suddenly some cramp in the box, can't continue, and a break in play, an opportunity to again try and break up the Sabadell momentum. Certainly overall they've had all the ball in the second half, they've pressed constantly, but this is a side who have struggled to find the net on 2 or 3 occasions this season, and they do play some lovely football, Sabadell, but if we're honest, how many saves has the Teruel keeper made this afternoon? A couple maybe at most, and that will be, as always, the big challenge for them going forward. Escudero, signed from Algeciras, he's done okay, but you've also got to bear in mind, I suppose, that Teruel very, very good defensively, and sitting there now with a flat back 5 and very hard to break down. But yeah, he may yet get a goal, but it wouldn't surprise me if we don't with 10 minutes to go. Still Sabadell 0, Teruel 0. 84 minutes in, and Teruel finally have a shot on target. The substitute Traore curls from his left foot towards the far corner, but you need to be better than that to beat Diego Forlì from 25 yards. So has to push it round the post. But that's literally the first thing that Forlì's had to do all afternoon. But yet, the game remains goalless as Sabadell cannot find a winner at the other end. That was a chance for Sabadell to win it. Ball in from the right. Escudero advances onto it, gets his head to it, can't put it on target. Really, probably the best chance they've had in the entire 90 minutes, and it goes begging still. Sabadell 0, Teruel 0. Final score: Sabadell 0, Teruel 0. Hate to say I told you so, but that one was coming quite a while out, to be fair. Sabadell dominant in possession, but Teruel so dogged in defence. Got to hand it to them. Breaking up the game as well quite a lot with injuries, which didn't seem that injury to me. But the main ire of the home fans is saved, as you can imagine, not for their own players, but for the referee, who they feel should have given him at least one penalty other than the one he did give them, and then decided not to give them after checking FVS. Both sides are not free scoring, so perhaps not the hugest surprises one would end goalless, but obviously Teruel much happier with the points. Still just one defeat so far this season. Tremendous effort from them, and you can see why they have been so successful so far. And they're now going across to thank the little group of fans who've travelled from deepest Aragon to support them today. 25-30 of them in the corner. I'm sure they'll be more than happy with that point away from home, and Sabadell by contrast disappointed. Had a good start to the season, but these are the kind of games that they would want to be winning if they're going to contend at the top end of the table, and today they just could not get it done, despite having a lion's share of possession and really all the even half chances that came up in this game. Final score: Sabadell 0, Teruel 0. So I'm joined by Edward Sutherland, better known as Teddy to most of us. Teddy, good to see you again. We last saw each other in Yakla on a really brilliant afternoon. It didn't go so well after that, did it? What have you been up to since then?
Well, I signed in Teruel, which is in League One in Spain. Started the season here, really happy at the moment. We played today against Sabadell. We got a nice point away from home, and we're doing well at the moment. Happy.
How does it compare to the Clan experience? Because obviously two sides, both of them recently promoted. Is there a very similar mentality? Is it all about being organised and being difficult to beat and taking your chances when you can, or is it a very different philosophy that Vicente Paras has you playing to?
Well, at the end of the day, there's two things. There's a thing in common, which is like the teams are very humble. We know what we know what we're capable of. We don't underestimate our possibilities. Never. Every pitch we go to, we want to win. Which is, we had that mentality last year. We was unlucky at the end though. We didn't have a lot of luck at the end. But this year we started off really well. Really looking forward to see how the season goes. The mentality is competing every single game and doing what we can.
We've been lost one so far as well, haven't we? Which is a really impressive start, isn't it? I guess a team that comes up into this level of football is always going to find it tough initially, but to just lose one in the first, I think, 8 games now, isn't it? So it's a tremendous start really overall.
Yeah, we're all really happy with how we started. We need to keep it up because we know how hard this category is. It's so equal, everything's so equal. The game we lost against Alcorcon, I think we didn't follow the plan, and that's shown on the result. We lost 2-1, but since then we've just grown as a team. Each one has made a step forward, and we can notice that every single game.
And it's a away game, obviously you've had a few already this season, but how is it exactly? I think it'd be quite intriguing for a lot of us to know. Like, is there any? Do you all just get back on the bus as soon as you can after the game? I mean, it's lunchtime now. Do you get food on the bus? Do you all head back to Teruel? Now, obviously, most of you presumably aren't from around there, are you? So where is the bus heading back to now, or do you all go back to Teruel and then go separate ways after? So you're nowhere near there, are you?
Well, as you can see, we got a few bits of food there. Yeah, we get food now. What we do is, because he's given us a couple of days off, Monday and Tuesday off. So now the bus will drop us in Valencia. A few of us, we've dropped our cars there. So then we get our car there, and each one heads home for at least a couple of days, and some people might stay in Teruel. So yeah, only because we got a couple of days. If not, we'd all be heading back to Teruel and training tomorrow.
So you've got a base, have you, there? Most players have got somewhere to stay in Teruel, because I mean, lots of the players don't live locally too there, do they?
This year we all live in Teruel because that's changed now. We train in Teruel, and last year they used to train and live in Zaragoza. But this year it's all changed. It's all in Teruel. We've all got our flats there, and yeah, we're all together there in Teruel.
Brilliant. I presume you're claiming that goal last week. It looked like it took quite a big deflection to me, but it's yours, is it?
Yeah, well, it says my name, doesn't it? So yeah, plus that's one goal. We need to get a few more and end up with a few goals. That'd be lovely this year.
But this season, yeah, it's going to be all about staying up, isn't it? Really, as you say, they didn't quite manage it with Yaclana last season, but clearly Teruel's aim must be to just stay in the division, doesn't it?
Yeah, the main thing is obviously staying up, but from there, I think we can dream. We can look up and fight for whatever. I think the team's more than capable. The players are we've got players with experience, we've got young players, we've got talent, so we've got hard work as well. So I think we can do something nice this year.
And this game today was a tough one, wasn't it, really? I know you played 60 minutes and it seemed to me like you spent an awful lot of time running around, just basically chasing after people, because Sabadell do keep the ball really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, Sabadell are a really good team. We knew what was coming to. We knew the capability they have with the ball in their feet. But there's one thing we have: we can have the ball or we can work. So today we had to work, we had to run behind the ball. I mean, I'm gutted we didn't have any clear chances up front. But anyway, it is sometimes you just got to work for the team and help the team out. And then next week we've got another game at home where we've got another opportunity of winning.
It's the old English method, isn't it? Win the home games, draw the away games. Do very nicely.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, Teddy. Have a safe journey home. Enjoy your 2 days off.
Thanks a lot. Lovely seeing you. Thanks a lot.
Calm after the storm. Seated in Bargol Norte, which you can imagine is extremely close to the stadium. Nice little touch there from the Sabadell fans who were in this bar with me. The Teruel bus pulled away, and nice round of applause. Everyone stood up and gave him a clap. And before that, I had the pleasure of a Ferran Costa press conference in Catalan, which was challenging to say the least. But the general gist I got from it was that he wasn't too upset that they hadn't scored again. He would have been more upset if they hadn't created any chance, and he was right about that, I suppose. They got into some good areas, and Teruel defended very well, to be fair. And they dealt with the balls into the box, of which there were plenty, and perhaps that was at the root of the applause that the small gathering of Sabadell fans gave them just now as they left. But overall, I think probably about right, 0-0. It's not something I would really want to reflect on as being about right, clearly, but yeah, I think both sides probably deserved a point from that. I don't think Sabadell did enough to win it, and certainly if that penalty had stood in the first half, I suspect they would have gone on to win the game, but it didn't. And the one in the second half, which really the referee should have given, he didn't. So I think both sides will look at this as a decent point, although clearly Sabadell will be more disappointed, and ultimately both sides' ambitions, I guess, is to stay in the division, although Teddy feels otherwise. It is a group that gives you a chance, I suppose, to compete for a playoff place, and we'll see therefore whether either of them get that far. But I think realistically both lack a real goal scoring threat, and as a consequence will probably fall short. But really pleasant afternoon spent here despite the lack of goals. Nice people, very friendly, very accommodating, and certainly somewhere I'd like to come back to again, and perhaps next time the club shop will be open, because as is always a source of complete amazement to me, the one day of the week when most club shops in Spain are not open, it's the day of the match, when presumably they could do more business than anything else. But mine is not the reason why that happens. Anyway, that's the end of my Primera Federación live experience for this weekend. I'm going to get some more in over the next couple of weekends, but that's it for now. You might see me pop up again on a different channel a little bit later on this afternoon.